Hello there, welcome to another video from Fires of Kaladesh MTG. Today we're doing a deck tech and we're going to be sailing the Seven Seas again, but today we'll be taking a look at Admiral Beckett Brass. She costs 1, a blue, a black and a red. She's a 3/3 legendary human pirate. With other pirates you control get +1/+1, and at the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who was dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. Now obviously I understand this is my second pirate deck which I will be looking at, but I have tried to make it as dissimilar as possible to Malcolm and Breaches. Obviously having the black in the mix there really does help out. Not only that, obviously Beckett Brass offers a variety of different abilities to what Malcolm and Breaches did with the previous deck. So let's dive right in. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at the creatures. We'll be running a lot of evasion in this deck in order to be able to get that combat damage through, if the camera focuses, and obviously steal permanents from your opponents. So first off we have Fathom Fleet Captain. He's 1 and a black for a human pirate with Menace. Whenever he attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with Menace, and he's a 2/1. Next up we have Coastline Marauders. It's 2 and a red for a 0/3. It's got Trample, and whenever it attacks, it's going to get +1/+0 until end of turn for each land defending player controls. And of course, you can encore that. So obviously exile it from your graveyard and then create a copy for each opponent you have. Next up, what is going on today? We have the Dire Fleet Poisoner. She's a 1 and a black for a 2/2 flash and death touch. And when she enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control will get +1/+1 and death touch until end of turn. Obviously not exactly evasion, but let's be honest, who wants to block a creature with death touch? Deadeye Brawler is next, with 2 a blue and a black. It's a 2/4 again with death touch. It's got Ascend, and when it deals combat damage to a player, if you've got the City's Blessing, you get to draw a card. Slippery Scoundrel is next, for 2 and a blue for a 2/2, again with Ascend. If this one has the City's Blessing, it gets hexproof and can't be blocked. Departed Deckhand is a 2/2 for 1 and a blue. When it becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it. It can't be blocked except by spirits. And for 3 and a blue, another target creature you control can't be blocked this turn except by spirits. Daring Saboteur is 1 and a blue for a 2/1. You can pay 2 and a blue to make him unblockable this turn. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Although not strictly a pirate, Changeling Outcast is next. It's a 1 black 1/1 Changeling Shapeshifter. It can't block and can't be blocked. So obviously you can see why that one's in here. It's just because it's a nice fast one to be able to get out and it's completely unblockable. Stormfleet Sprinter is 1 a blue and a red for a 2/2 with haste, and again can't be blocked. Kite Sail Courser is 1 and a blue. He's a 2/1. He's got flying as long as he's attacking. Ooh, skip one. Stormfleet Aerialist, again 1 and a blue. He's a 1/2 flyer. He's going to enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter if you attack with a creature this turn. Skyship Plunderer is 1 and a blue for a 2/1, but again with flying. And when it deals combat damage to a player, for each kind of counter on target permanent or player, give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. Warkite Marauder is a lovely little one for 1 and a blue. He's a 2/1 flyer. Whenever he attacks, target creature defending player controls loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1 until end of turn. Obviously, this be useful if they have got flying defense, just remove that flying ability, or anyone with reach, or anything just particularly nasty that you know is probably going to be assigned to block. Spectral Sailor is next. It's a 1 to cast for a 1/1 flash and flying. You can pay 3 and a blue to draw a card. Dreamcaller Siren is 2 and 2 blue for a 3/3 flash flying. You can block only creatures with flying, but when he enters the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 non-land permanents. Siren Reaver is 3 and a blue for a 3/2 flyer, and it's going to cost 1 less to cast if you attack with a creature this turn. We do love the flying, so we're going to stick with it. With Kite Sail Skirmisher, it's 3 and a blue for a 3/1 flyer, and whenever he attacks, another target creature attacking the same player or planeswalker will gain flying until end of turn. And again, it's got that lovely encore ability. Siren Storm Tamer is just 1 blue for a 1/1 flyer. You can pay a blue to sacrifice it, and counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. Some older style pirate now, with a Rishadan Brigand. It's 4 and a blue for a 3/2 with flying. And when he enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a permanent unless he or she pays 3 mana, but can only block creatures with flying. Rishadan Airship is 2 and a blue for a 3/1 flyer, but again can only block creatures with flying. Siren Lookout is 2 and a blue for a flyer, and as it enters the battlefield, you're going to explore, and he's a 1/2. Talos Scout is a simple little 1 and a blue for a 1/2 flying pirate. Kitesail Freebooter is 1 and a black for a 1/2 flyer, and when he enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, exile that card until Kitesail Freebooter leaves the battlefield. Next up is Zara Renegade Recruiter. She is 3 a blue and a red for a 4/3 legendary pirate. She is flying, and whenever she attacks, you can look at defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control, and then return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Coercive Recruiter is next. He's 4 and a red for a 4/3 orc pirate, and whenever Coercive Recruiter or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature until end of turn, it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. Captivating Crew has a similar effect again. For 3 and a red, you get a 4/3 pirate, and you can pay 3 and a red as many times as you like to gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. However, you can only activate that ability as a sorcery. Hostage Taker does everything you want the deck to do. For 2 a blue and a black, it's a 2/3 pirate. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile target artifact or creature until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. And you can cast that card for as long as it remains exiled and spend mana as it was mana of any colour. Azure Fleet Admiral is a 3 and a blue for a 3/3. ETB, you become the Monarch, and he can't be blocked by creatures the Monarch controls. Which is nice, it means you're always going to be able to get that monarchy back when someone does eventually take it from you. Crimson Fleet Commodore is 3 and a red for a 5/2 trample, and again ETB is going to make you the monarch. Emberwild Captain, 3 and a red for a 4/2, ETB you become the monarch, and whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the monarch, Emberwild Captain deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. Lightning Riku is an absolutely essential for any pirate tribal. It's 2 and a red for a Goblin Pirate 0/5. You can tap to deal 1 damage to each opponent, and whenever you cast a pirate spell, you get to untap him. Forerunner of the Coalition is 2 and a black for a 2/2, and when he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a pirate card, reveal it, and put that card on top of your library and shuffle. And whenever another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Merchant Raiders is 3 and a blue for a 2/4, and whenever Merchant Raiders or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, tap up to 1 target creature. That creature doesn't untap for as long as you control Merchant Raiders. Ruthless Knave is 2 and a black for a 3/2. You can pay 2 and a black to sack a creature to create 2 treasures, or sacrifice 3 treasures to draw a card. Deadeye Plunderers is a 3/3 for 3 a blue and a black. He's going to get +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And for 2 a blue and a black, you can create a treasure token. Dire Fleet Captain is black and red for a 2/2, and whenever he attacks, he's going to get +1/+1 till end turn for each other attacking pirate. Dire Fleet Neckbreaker is 2 a black and a red for a 3/2, and attacking pirates you control, you're going to get +2/+0. And then last off for the creatures, we have a Dire Fleet Warmonger. It's 1 a black and a red for a 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, Dire Fleet Warmonger is going to get +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. Now obviously that's a very creature heavy selection we have there. Sorry about that. There's a lot of different abilities, not just the evasion there, but obviously a lot of different theft style abilities as well. If you do want to be able to concentrate on taking anything good that your opponents might have, or might be able to stop your creatures from getting through. And after that, let's move on to the sorceries. So continuing on with the theme, we have Hijack. It's 1 and 2 red, gain control of target artifact or creature until end of turn, and tap it, it gains haste. Similar ability again for Besmirch. This one's going to goad the creature at the same time though. Wrangle is 1 and a red, but it's going to let you gain control of target creature with power 4 or less until end of turn. Slave of Bolas is 3, a blue or red and a black. To gain control of target creature, it gains haste until end of turn, and lovely, this one will let you sacrifice at the end of turn as well. Act of Treason is just your bog standard one for 2 and a red, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap it, it gains haste. Kari Zev's Expertise will again let you gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. It's going to gain haste and you untap it. It also lets you cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Claim the Firstborn is 1 red and lets you gain control of target creature with mana value 3 or less until end of turn. Goat Nap is 2 and a red and again lets you gain control of a creature until end of turn. However, if it's a goat, you're going to get +3/+0 on top. Patriarch's Bidding is 3 and 2 black, and each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of a type chosen this way from their graveyard to the battlefield. If you run obviously a similar circles to what I do, not a lot of other people generally play tribals in my play group. So obviously it's a really, really nice one to be able to bring everything from my board back, also graveyard back, but hopefully not anyone else's. Razakev's Right is your bog standard tutor for 3 and 2 black. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand, shuffle your library, and you can cycle it for 1 black. Distant Melody is 3 and a blue, and you choose a creature type and draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. Then last of all, we have a little bit of flavour with Walk the Plank, 2 black to destroy target non-merfolk creature. Moving on now to the instants. I'm going to keep up the kill spells with a Grotesque Demise. What's going on with my camera today? It's 2 and a black for an instant, and you get to exile target creature with power 3 or less. There we go. Obnixilus's Cruelty, 2 and a black, again for an instant. Target creature will get -5 until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Cast Down is 1 and a black to let you destroy target non-legendary creature. And then last of all we have it, oh no, one before last, is a Doom Blade, 1 and a black again to destroy target non-black creature. And then Go for the Throat is 1 and a black and let you destroy target non-artifact creature. Only running the 1 artifact in this one. There's a bit of everything all at once though. It's a Vanquisher's Banner. And for 5 mana, as it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type are going to get +1/+1. And whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. Let's move on to the enchantments before we hit our lands. And essential for any tribal deck is Reflections of Lit Zara, 4 and a blue. And as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Goblin Bombardment is a lovely little sack outlet for 1 and a red. You can sacrifice a creature to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Makeshift Munitions is again 1 and a red. You can pay 1 to sacrifice an artifact or creature to deal 1 damage to any target. Curse of Verbosity is hopefully going to draw some attention away from you. For 2 and a blue, you can curse a player, and whenever that player is attacked, you draw a card, and each opponent attacking that player does the same. A bit more flavour with Coastal Piracy for 2 and 2 blue, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Military Intelligence, again whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. And then last of all we have a Ristic Study, which is 2 and a blue, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. Apologies, I'm a little bit under the weather. So let's move on to the non-basic lands then. We are going for our Rakdos Carnarium, which is just a simple black and red bounce land. A Rogue's Passage to be able to get more creatures unblockable. Unclaimed Territory is just a nice little mana fixer in a tribal deck. Dross Forge Bridge is an indestructible black and red. Path of Ancestry is going to let us scry whenever we cast a creature that shares its identity with our commander. Darkwater Catacombs. Cinder Barons. Crypt of the Eternals. Field of Ruin is a lovely land I recommend for any deck. You can tap it for a colourless or pay 2 and tap to sack it, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls, then each player is going to search his or her library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield. Grix's Panorama is an Evolving Wilds, but just for blue, black and red. You can tap for a colourless, or you can sacrifice it to search for a basic island, swap or mountain, but on the battlefield tapped. Dismal Backwater, just another simple one, enters tapped for blue or black, but you gain a life. Rakdos Guildgate. Dwar Isle Refuge. A Drowned Catacombs. A Clearwater Path, which is optional blue or black, double-faced. And a classic Terramorphic Expanse. So, hope you enjoyed today's video again. Another look into pirates. I'm hoping this will be the last one. If you've got any ideas for a pirate deck which I haven't looked at yet though, please feel free to leave them below. Or if there's any cards which you'd recommend for this deck, again, leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll hopefully see you next time. Thanks for watching.